How to stop gambling addiction, problem gambling, or any gambling disorder forever. Hi, welcome to this video. My name is Tom from the AliveAcademy.com. And in this video, we will make visible what the real root cause of gambling addiction really is. Whether it is going to the casino and playing the slot machines, or staying up for overnight poker games, or gambling or online, or sports betting. I designed this video to give you perspective and crystal clear clarity in direction towards complete liberation. Now, on the internet, I see so many videos about tricks or setting rules or learning to be disciplined, but I've experienced myself that watching these videos with believed solutions didn't solve the actual problem at all. Not even locking yourself up in your house without internet will solve the root, because it is most likely we will start a new but a similar kind of addiction. Now, this is because of the root of the problem hasn't been solved within ourselves yet. Now, by watching this video, this is all about to change for you. Now, only when we know what the real root cause is, we can heal the root and liberate ourselves from every other symptom too, and that with ease. Now, symptoms such as placing bets more and more frequently, betting more than originally intended, chasing losses by continually betting beyond the ability to pay, feeling irritable or aggressive when unable to gamble or when losing, being preoccupied with gambling all the time, huge losses, including legal problems, divorce, lost careers, and even considering suicide. Now, from the moment when we know what the real root of the problem is, we will be able to stop being addicted to gambling once and for all. You don't have to feel ashamed for the fact that you are addicted to gambling, because we all get addicted to something or someone first in life before we choose to start healing the actual root cause. Now, the only difference might be that some people might be better in hiding the fact that they are addicted to something or someone behind a shiny mask of pretending until that mask cracks, obviously. Being addicted to gambling comes down to only one thing. Did fear ever cross your mind? Fear to be alone with ourselves when we are not distracted from our own unsolved pain or our feelings of unworthiness deep within that we do not want to feel. Now, placing bets more and more frequently, betting more than originally intended, chasing losses by continually betting beyond the ability to pay, feeling irritable or aggressive when unable to gamble or when losing, being preoccupied with gambling, huge losses including legal problems, divorce, even considering suicide, seems all better as a distraction than being left alone with our own unsolved pain or our own feelings of unworthiness within. Now, we can learn all kinds of valuable techniques, like learning to be disciplined, but no technique on the surface will ever solve the root of this problem. The root cause of gambling addiction is that unconsciously it still serves as a distraction from our own unsolved pain. And at the same time, it is limiting us to live the intended, true, free, and natural, abundant, vibrant life that we are born for. Instead of solving the root cause of gambling addiction, we can also point outward and blame, analyze, label, or cut others out of our lives, for example, when they don't want to lend us money for gambling, as a distraction away from ourselves and away from our own responsibility. But that approach doesn't work, and it will never liberate us from our own victim reality either. On the contrary, turning outward and hoping that gambling will eventually set us free will only postpone our own liberation even more. Do you know how you know you are addicted to gambling or not? Well, if you stop gambling completely and you feel independently fulfilled and relaxed, then you are not addicted. But if you become restless, irritated, or even angry to people, you most likely are addicted to gambling. What will help you, beginning from the root, is changing our own dark place where we are living in and learn to turn on the light ourselves. When we turn on the light, there isn't any darkness around us possible. But in order to be able to turn on that light, not just a tiny bit, but completely, we will first have to face our own pains and fears and solve them from the root. And it is then and only then we will be able to change the way we look at things, and the things we look at as a natural consequence will change too. We will stop blaming others for our own darkness, and we will start taking our own responsibility. We will start shifting our reality from being a victim to being independently fulfilled, driven by inner power. Now, I'm very glad that after many years of struggling, I finally found a way to solve the root of all pain, and very important, without having to relive nor suppress it ever again. And once you know how, it isn't that difficult either. Solving our pain doesn't just liberate us from our victim reality and distractions, but it also creates an opening to the intended, unique life that each and every one of us is born for. To end the root of the problem together with all its symptoms once and for all, and therefore to shine the light onto our dark gambling addiction, what it really is, I came up with a fundamental drawing to show you. If you have seen the following fundamental animation already and it gave you perspective, clarity and insight in direction towards complete liberation, make sure to start in this direction to be liberated from the symptoms addressed in this video too, so you will have more time to create and enjoy your independent, liberated and abundant life to the fullest. I also like and share this video so people who actually are looking for relief from gambling addiction, and that from the very root up, will also see this clarity in direction. I don't want to give you a superficial solution, so I want to take you back to the origin, back to the start. Let's represent this heart as a symbol of our free, pure, unharmed and untouched and independently fulfilled feelings at the moment when we are born. And this blue diamond as our unique core from which we are designed to flow over into natural abundance from what we authentically have to give. From that moment until now, we all experience all kinds of negative and painful emotions. This is the moment the root of all fear is born, the fear to feel our unsolved pain ever again. Of course, no one of us really want to feel this pain again. That's why we all found a different way of dealing with this. Do you know how? By building a wall of control around it. How do we build this wall of control? We all know this, I guess. From that moment, we stop living from our feelings and start living from our mind or our thinking. Let me symbolize the brain for this. From that moment, we use our mind and our thinking non-stop to search for distractions outside of ourselves that have to prevent us from feeling pain again. These distractions or our constant thinking, yes, of course, I should be doing this, or better, no, if I don't do this, otherwise they think with this annoying little restless voice inside of our head, I'm sure we all know of, services as a band-aid on top of our wall of control to prevent ourselves from feeling. The problem is that we do not just cover up our pain, but also our pure, unharmed and untouched, independently fulfilled feelings. Because we are closed up from our feelings with our thinking now, we don't feel our inner diamond or our core or value anymore and feel empty and unworthy instead. Because we feel empty and unworthy now, we start to look for a feeling of fulfillment in all kinds of distractions. For example, by gambling. We hope that one day winning a lot of money with gambling will set ourselves free. We'll be able to buy ourselves a feeling of worthiness. Strangely, we are searching for a feeling of fulfillment in these things or short shots by running away from our feelings. The contradiction shows itself here very clearly. Yet, we do not question ourselves about these choices and the routine that it has become for so many of us. The problem arises when a distraction falls away or when we become used to our distraction. Unsolved pain will come through our wall of protection again, and we will non-stop need to replace one distraction after the other. And this is where our numbing imprisonment is born based upon fear. Running away from our unsolved emotions into short shots of distractions that never can work, and with the constant fear of losing a distraction as a bandage, is the birth of all addictions or addicting distractions. This routine is extremely exhausting. We all are aware of this. Until we reach the point where the alarm signals or diseases become so great that we can go no further. Our body gets cramped, which might result in back pain, neck pain, headaches, muscles and joint pain. And it is likely, if we keep ignoring these symptoms, that we might get a burnout, a depression, chronic fatigue syndrome, or even don't see the point of living anymore and consider suicide. If we keep running away from ourselves and our unsolved emotional pain in dis-ease, it will also affect our physiology. Chronic stress will inject us with constant fight and flight biochemicals like cortisol and adrenaline that will knock our body out of balance, and according to the science of epigenetics, will switch on our inherited disease-causing genes. Our immune system goes down and our body might come up with actual diseases as an alarm signal that we are heading towards the wrong direction, away from our own core and inner diamond. Even in the stage of actual diseases, we can keep running away even more from the root cause and suppress our disease symptoms even more with medication to be able to keep heading in the wrong direction. It's obvious that this stubborn ignorance is not only self-destructive, will not ever solve the root of the problem at all, but will also make you chained and addicted to medication too. This little animation shows with pure logic that true liberation lies in the liberation of our true feelings and self-worth for once and for all, so that we can create and enjoy all the abundance that life has to offer in freedom. And the irony and good news is that solving the root of all pain isn't that difficult either. There is actually a way to solve the root of all pain without having to relive nor suppress that pain ever again. Solving all pain will also make all fear to feel pain vanish as well, which is basically all fear. When there is no fear or pain anymore, then we are set free from our addictions, from our money, from sedatives and stimulants, from prescription drugs, and we will sleep like a baby again, and we will feel refreshed and recharged, full of excitement each morning again. This possible reality is actually our natural intended reality, where we can choose to create and live the liberated, abundant life that we are born for, where we are feeling independently fulfilled without fear, unsolved pain, and consequential addictions or disease symptoms anymore. This is the only way that we can actually enjoy life to the fullest without any fear of losing it again. We now know that all of our fears and diseases are helping warning signals and serve us with a very valuable message. Our fears and our disease symptoms are here to tell us that the direction that we are going is a wrong, unhealthy direction. It warns us that if we continue to ignore these wrong and unhealthy directions of disease, that our body might come up with bigger actual diseases. So our fear and our symptoms are here to tell us that true liberation or true cure is to be found in the exact opposite direction, in solving our unsolved pain, so no more fears or any other symptoms can arise. Do you believe that by numbing these signals, for example, underneath a blanket of medication, will ever solve the real root of the problem? Or does it only give us a short shot of satisfaction like we've seen in the animation in the addictions? Now, the more I was trying to create a successful mask, or the more I was trying to run away from my own insecurities or from my own fears or from my pains into distractions, the more my restlessness or exhausting fears in other forms kept arising, and they didn't go away. Now, I only started to feel truly liberated, relaxed, filled with joy, filled with self-esteem, and enjoying every little thing around me when I decided to go to the root of my fears, of my pains and relating symptoms, and solve them once and for all. Now, because when we are no longer imprisoned in this exhausting system driven by fear and pain and relating symptoms, we will feel independently fulfilled with joy. And when we feel only joy without fear and pain, there won't be any obstructions left to create whatever belongs to us naturally. And when we create out of joy without any obstructions, success and abundance are just logical, natural consequences. So basically, liberating ourselves from this limiting, imprisonment by fear, restlessness, and pain is the key to go from limitations and scarcity towards the natural abundance that you are actually born for. Or do you think liberation comes from running even harder against our will in the wrong direction out of fear? Everyone can make this happen for themselves regardless our current situation. So you don't need to cultivate it, you don't have to be rich or try really hard. We don't need to change our relationship or the place where we are living. We don't need to change the way we look. Of course, we are free to do any of this, but it is not required at all. Just understanding how we can go past the root of all fear and our pain, our restlessness, and our distracting addictions is enough. I created this video to give you perspective and crystal clear insight in direction towards real liberation from the root up of the problem with every other current and future symptom too. And my intention is that it will serve you this way. Do you want to know how to immediately get past the symptom of fear whenever it occurs? And do you want to know the truth about fear and pain that will set your mind free? Well, then I have good news for you. Click here so I can send you the videos, the free videos. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and tap the bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. And if you want to help me liberate even more people from fears, from restlessness, from pain and distracting addictions and medication by making the real cause and the unhealthy wrong direction visible, please share this video with your friends. Now click on the link here and I will see you in the next video.